New York Jets trade rumors are heating up as the front office has spoken out at the NFL Draft Combine, talking about potential trades that we have seen get teased, and on top of that, multiple different quarterback prospects coming up in a lot of recent news headlines that the New York Jets are sure to be looking at ahead of this NFL draft as they want to win as soon as possible, and we're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're part of that 77% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, this is the place to be for all Jets content. We're going crazy with the content over the offseason. Multiple videos a day. You guys don't want to miss out. But let's jump into the New York Jets news today, Matt, because the New York Jets, there's been a lot of noise about them, and Zach Rosenblatt mentioned talking a lot about just where the Jets are and what their plan is going forward with Darren Mougey and all that, and what Mougey wants to see them do. And Rosenblatt mentioned that Mougey said the Jets are exhausting all options at quarterback. Also on the side, did mention Tyrod Taylor. He's a huge fan of, but we could talk about that at a later date. On top of that, saying the Jets are open to trading up from pick number 7. Matt, obviously, a lot of people have talked about the Jets potentially being a team that could trade up. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think we will see the Jets trade up, as Mougey said he's open to it? We've also seen the Broncos do the fake draft board thing that Darren Mougey comes from that tree, so there's a world where this is all smoke and mirrors. What do you think? Do you think this is real, or do you think this is a smoke screen?
Well, I'm not going to call it a smokescreen, but I will call it a PR answer from Darren Mougey. I think this is him just not tipping off the media, and it's more of that and less of him telling the media what he's going to do. Of course, he's open to trading up. This year, it seems like the strategy to, if you have a top pick, it's to trade down and get a first-round pick for next year because it's going to be a stronger draft. So why would the New York Jets want to be on the other side of that trade? Doesn't make a lot of sense to move up this year. The quarterbacks aren't as good as the prospects were last year or are going to be next year. There really aren't any. The prospects that are the really good prospects, there's going to be one of them available at 7, so the Jets don't need to move up. If the Jets were a little bit lower, I could understand why they would want to move up, or if they were in love with Cam Ward, which maybe they are. Maybe we don't know that, but they love Cam Ward, then they would trade up. But a trade up for Cam Ward is the only situation where a trade up makes any sense at all. Really, the overwhelmingly most likely scenario here is just Darren Mougey giving a PR answer, saying the right things at an interview, and making sure other teams are not tipped off to the New York Jets plans going forwards here.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Jets, I agree it's probably a PR answer. I just don't see the Jets being a team that's planning on trading up, but it obviously is something that they're going to be open to. Darren Mougey's not going to say, nope, not making a trade at all. Don't even waste our time. So that makes perfect sense to me, honestly. And, well, there's been a lot of noise just about a lot of different potential trades. Also, Rosenblatt mentioning that Aaron Glenn, who was also speaking to the media today at the NFL Draft Combine, said when evaluating quarterbacks, they are looking for winners and that the New York Jets are here to win now, which echoes what Darren Mougey said as well, because Darren Mougey, when talking at the Draft Combine, said, we're here to win now and here to win for good. This team, I've never seen a front office, like with the Jets specifically, that's so much, no, we're winning. Like, basically just like, not giving some fake answer, like, we're winning. We're winning now. We're done. This is over. This losing stuff, it's in the past. We're not doing this. We're just not. Like, they seem so adamant about it that it's really, really exciting, and it does amp you up. But, I mean, them just giving some signals that, hey, we want a winning culture. We want to do that. There's not that much else that they really have to talk about outside of saying, yeah, we want to win. And, I mean, look, there's a lot of talk about different guys they could draft. Matt, who would you say is the biggest winner of all the quarterbacks in the NFL Draft Combine? And I'm frozen. This is new. We both froze.
Out of Ohio State? What's going on here?
The connection is unstable, Matt.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. All right. We'll see. I know a lot of Jets fans are very excited at the prospect of taking a chance on Will Howard to be the Jets' next quarterback or backup quarterback, whatever he turns out to be, if the New York Jets should go ahead and draft him. Am I excited for a pick like that? Of course not. The hit rate being 1 out of 32 since 2019, that's just not a hit rate I'm interested in ever trying out. Can't imagine why anyone would be interested in that. I understand it's fun to talk about the next Brock Purdy, but I mean, are the 49ers winning because of Brock Purdy or because of the team around them? So even if you get a hit out of a guy like that, of course the upside is much bigger because the quarterback position is much harder to find and much more important. So it's the upside is higher should you hit on a pick like that. The hit rate is just so low that for me it eliminates the upside of making that draft selection.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I imagine because the Jets are saying, hey, we're looking for winners, they'll definitely take a look at Will Howard. I mean, it just would make sense. It feels like a higher likelihood that if the Jets decide to draft a quarterback in this draft, which would not be surprising. Again, yes, they have Jordan Travis. No, this is not the franchise, or not, it is the franchise. It's not the front office that drafted Jordan Travis. There is a real world that Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn are like, yeah, we're not letting some guy that someone else drafted become the steal. It just feels super unlikely at this point. Whether you like Jordan Travis or not, it feels super unlikely that they're just going to be super open to this. They'll probably want to bring in their own later round quarterback. And then a few other names get raised. Someone who the comment section loves is Kyle McCord out of Syracuse. That's someone I'm imagining the Jets will look at. As they said, they're exhausting all options. Darren Mougey said that. Aaron Glenn has said that. They're all saying that they're exhausting all these options to try to find whatever works for the team best. I mean, I just really don't think they're going to draft a quarterback high up. Now, there has been some talk, and there was a video that you did on this recently, so we're not going to break down everything on this, but Mel Kiper did predict the Jets will end up with Shedeur Sanders at 7th overall. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is making it that far. Yes, he could. He probably should based off the talent ahead of him, but I just don't see him falling that far. I really do think he's going to end up going to the Giants.
I think this is an instance of Mel Kiper being asked to make too many mock drafts, and he wants to make them different because the people asking him to make them are asking him to change up his picks. So if he was making one mock draft, Shedeur Sanders would not be falling to the Jets at 7. Shedeur Sanders, if you pay attention to his stuff, Shedeur is his number 1 quarterback, so he's not going to be there at 7. Mel Kiper loves Shedeur Sanders. He did that. I'm not going to say for clicks, but he did that to deviate from his normal mock drafting. He would take Shedeur Sanders number 1 overall to the Tennessee Titans had he be the GM of that team.
Yeah, that does make sense. Honestly, I do fully expect the Jets to end up drafting defense within the first round. However, at the same time, I really do think that we'll see the Jets draft some form of quarterback in the draft at all, just because, again, they're not going to move forwards with Jordan Travis. Anyone who wants the Jordan Travis experience, you're going to have to keep on probably waiting for the rest of your life. That's my expectation. But, Matt, anything else that you got?
Well, yeah, no, obviously we want to see Jordan Travis play because we want to know what he can do, and he's going to get a shot in training camp provided he's healthy. But, I mean, is he going to outplay even Tyrod Taylor? I wouldn't count on it, but he's going to have what I would think would be a fair chance unless they draft a quarterback. If they draft another quarterback in the 5th round this year, Jordan Travis will not have a fair chance. He's going to have to outplay that quarterback because if they're neck and neck, Mougey and Aaron Glenn, they're going to take their guy over Jordan Travis.
One other thing very quickly. In your mind, who's the best running quarterback in this draft? Who's, like, going to get picked?
Jalen Milroe. Easily.
Okay, certainly Milroe. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I mentioned that is because there's been a lot of reports that Aaron Glenn not necessarily wants a rushing quarterback, but he does want a quarterback who's able to run big. Cam Ward obviously didn't rush a ton of times, only rushed out of I think 32 times, and that was actually, funny enough, coincidentally 32nd in college football, and he rushes more in the red zone. At the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders isn't someone who's going to be rushing a lot as well. Jalen Milroe is that guy. Maybe
what's scary? Yeah. What's scary is the guy. Glenn said he was looking for someone who was mobile, not necessarily a runner, but someone who was mobile. And the guy who was mobile but not a runner is Jackson Dart. So that's why that's scary.
Well, guys, that's all we have for today because